Let's create Bayou alligator stew. Bayou is practically like swamp in Louisiana. And what I'm going to have here is an alligator. And alligator is white meat. And I'm going to show you how to prepare this dish that I have designed. Make sure you have your alligator meat. I have a link in the description where I purchased mine. The Trinity. You cannot go without the Trinity. Celery, chopped onion, chopped celery, chopped green bell pepper. 1 tomato, I cut it. I have some flour, I will explain that later, some water. Make sure you have some cayenne pepper powder, black pepper, smoked paprika, salt, tomato, 1, I just chop it. I have some okra, this is optional. Now, I prefer fresh okra, but the other day I boiled some okra for some salad that I was preparing. So I have some left, I'm going to use that one. It's very simple. So, let's start with the with the alligator. So I like to put some salt, just to stuff things. I have some sea salt. Going to be a little bit generous here. This is like cooking chicken breast with a bone, pretty much. Delicious, huh? And I want to add some black pepper. You add just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And you're going to mix things well. I have a nice cast iron here, about almost 100 years old. So what I'm going to do, medium high, I'm going to preheat it. I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil. You can use butter if you want to. But believe it or not, Canary Islands from Spain, they have a lot of heritage left behind in Louisiana and states like that. It's not just the French, not just the African, Western Africans, not just the Native American, Spanish from Canary Island also left. Even the Germans too. But this is my creation. So, medium high, extra virgin olive oil. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start cooking some of these alligator. Give it some color, cooking it nice. And actually, I'm going to add more oil to this. I said about a quarter of a cup. But you don't want this frying or anything like that. You just cook it and let's reduce the heat. Just a couple notches above medium, a notch or so. You can put a medium too. And you're going to cook these babies until they're nice, not fry, but just cook, you know. Just simmering. About 4, maybe 5 minutes later, it's done. Turn the heat off, move it out of the way. So I have a pot here, you can use a Dutch oven. I'm using this so you can see. Typically when people do like etouffee and stuff like that in Louisiana, they create the roux, which is the flour, all-purpose flour, and they mix it up with the oil. And I've done that before in some of my recipes. For this one, I'm going to do something slightly different. I have this flour here. I got 2 tablespoons. Let me try with 3 tablespoons of water. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix it well. Mix it well. You don't want any powder left. You just want to mix it well. It's kind of a shortcut because this is not a traditional etouffee or gumbo. This is just my own bayou stew. Same principle, same inspiration. So you mix it up so it's nothing dry. See? It's like paste. Put it aside. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same oil that I have here from the Gator. And I'm going to use it there. I got the heat on medium, but the oil is hot. And first, let's start with the Trinity. Time to start creating those flavors, right? And mix, oh my goodness, this smells delicious. Do this for a few seconds, mix them well. Tomatoes. Let me increase the heat to a couple notches above medium. You can put a medium high too. Caramelizing these babies, huh? Let me use some cayenne pepper. This is about maybe 1/4 teaspoon. So let me use 2/4, which is 1/2. And I'm going to sprinkle some of my smoked paprika. Just a sprinkle here and there. Going to mix things around. I also have, I forgot to mention earlier, about 3 or 4 teeth of garlic, which I chopped. Added to it. Mix things up. You don't want the garlic to burn. Look at this baby. See how the base is looking? It's my base. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the alligator. Make sure everything mix up well. Add the flavors, the meat, alligator. See how it's looking? I'm going to use some beef stock. You can use water too, by the way, or combination. And I'm going to add it now. I'm going to start with a couple of cups. Yeah, 2 cups. Let me add another cup. When it start boiling, turn the heat down to like medium. You might want to give this a taste. Nice. You want to put a little bit more salt. Now is the time. I will. Just a couple. This is going to have some kick to it, by the way. Let me add the okra. And what I'm going to do, because I want things to thicken, now I'm going to add the mix. I didn't do the roux earlier because it takes a while. This is not a traditional thing. This is my own. And the roux is done to thicken the etouffee, the gumbo. But this is a stew. We call it Bayou alligator stew. So you start slowly, put it around. Put it around. So it's distributed. The water I use is room temperature. You don't want to use warm water to mix this. You want room temperature or cold. You know, this is like when people use cornstarch to thicken things a little bit, but I'm going to stay with the spirit. I'm going to mix this up. So that flour is going to make it a little bit thick. And I'm going to let it cook for about, now that I added other stuff, I say for another 7-8 minutes, medium heat. And look at this. It's not too thin, not too thick, it's perfect. Same results by doing, I want to call it reverse roux, right? Reverse roux, I reverse it. Instead of doing first and taking 15 or 10 minutes of mixing the flour, I just do it later. It's a trick.